What?
Yeah.
Going
Out
live.
in space.
Yeah.
I clicked the button. I didn't know they were
The
going to
bartender
talk.
reminds me so much of you.
You're on.
Oh, okay.
There's no secrets.
I didn't know you
between
guys were
us.
going to start talking.
Oh, we're visiting.
All right.
Visiting with Sid.
Bye-bye.
So we're just doing that one, not this one? This one's not blue.
Yeah, we're just doing the main one. We don't have the
Okay.
2 cameras set up
Okay.
on this one. So hi guys.
Hi guys, welcome.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm having a little bit of trouble on that part, Ann. So give me a sec. All right.
Very small technical difficulty, but we'll
Oh yeah, well we're live. You guys can go ahead
Oh.
and let us know who you are, where you're from, and if you have a question, feel free to put that in. We've got a couple that were carried over from the live stream, so we can go ahead and start with those. But you can feel free to put your questions in the comments section. And yeah, it's usually there's a lot less people on here, so it's a little slower paced, and we can get more in depth and answer everybody's questions. So
yeah.
And Darren, how's your week been?
Oh, my week. I've got a nerdy thing that happened. How I could talk about the P1 AM.
Sure.
You guys want to know about the P1 AM? Okay. We're going to talk about the P1 AM. So I'm working in T3 Interface. I'm trying to make a product for that we can rent out. Okay, so here's the trajectory of this development. You have a problem with your furnace. We've done quite a few furnace videos, and people will reach out to us on our comments and will say, hey, Darren, my furnace is doing this. What do you think it is? So wouldn't it be great if we could put Darren in a box and mail Darren out to all these different furnaces and have him in his box kind of troubleshoot the stuff? And so what I've come up with is a product as of now, I'm calling it the Furnace Event Logger. And so the thing is in a Pelican case, and it's got, in the video we just talked about, I was talking about a Siemens logo product. And I started off with a Siemens logo product.
This is the one.
Anyway, the logo is great, but it'll do analog values, but it doesn't thrive in analog values. And it'll do simple math, but it doesn't thrive in math. And so I was doing some digging around, and on Automation Direct over there, I found I was going to do a Do More, I think it's a Do More PLC, because I need the product to be in a 12, 24-volt variant. And so you're getting the old automation control systems, Darren, right now. But it has an application for you guys. And so as I'm digging around with that, I've been playing around with the Arduinos for about 13 years now. And the problem I had with the Arduinos is they were not industrial hardened. In other words, it was always, every time you've ever seen an Arduino thing, it's always something duct taped to a wall. I'm guilty myself with wires hanging out of it. And so when I found out that Automation Direct is offering a industrial hardened PLC with an Arduino heart in it, I got extremely excited and I started playing around with that. And it's amazing because I finally ordered my parts yesterday afternoon. Yesterday, I ordered all my parts for my very first, it's called a P1 AM control board or PLC brain. And it's got the analog and digital cards that you can snap onto the side of it, up to 15 modules deep. And is it possible we can close that? It's very distracting. The kids are playing hide and seek, and it's just a bunch of activity right outside of here, and it's distracting me. Anyway, I'll land my plane here, and I'll talk about it. So it's amazing how logistics works, because yesterday those things left the Atlanta, Georgia area at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They arrived here at noon today. And how that worked, I don't even know if I can get myself to Atlanta, Georgia in that short a period of time. But anyway, so they arrived today. So now what we're going to do, now I'll land my plane. But Trisha asked how my week's going. And so I'm rediscovering, my whole background is in ladder logic with Siemens S7 300s and 400s and redundant systems and all this ladder logic PLCs for 30 years. And so I've got to learn a little bit more C++ coding. I've got to learn a little bit more of different HMI type software with the C-more, because they're only $130. Anyway, the program that I put into my Siemens logo, we used that about 2 weeks ago on a customer's furnace. And it was able to find the problem. But I want to go farther. I want to know the temperature going into the furnace. I want to know the temperature leaving the furnace. I want to know the temperature out the exhaust port. And I want to know the room temperature. And I want to take all these pieces of information. They say that a furnace is only 40% efficient or 60% efficient. I don't know which one is the 40 or the 60. Wouldn't it be great if we could prove that on the fly? On any given instant, what is your efficiency of your furnace? Where's all the heat going? How much propane is it consuming? and if it should fail, specifically what component failed. The one that we put in the other day where I was using my Siemens logo programmable relay to do the testing and found 600 times the high temperature switch faulted over a period of 3 days. It happened so quickly that a human would not have been able to detect that. So the data logger that I created was able to detect that. And so that was a proof of concept, made it very exciting. So now we're going to take that even farther, and now I'll be able to read temperature, like I was saying, supply, return temperature, exhaust temperature. I'll be monitoring every single point on this furnace. So now I'm going to be repackaging my furnace event logger into the box needs to be a little bit bigger. And you'll have this little quick connector plug. So you'll have this like a Pelican case that's got my program in it with some LED lights and switch knobs and a little display that will give you all your temperature things. And then you'll have a cable that you'll have your furnace, and you're going to connect these wires to your furnace. Then you'll connect my cables to it. You'll connect the cables to the box and run it, and then let it run. And then you've got Darren, RV Tech, in a box diagnosing your furnace. And the information we're going to be able to get out of that is just, I get excited. I get butterflies. But why stop at furnaces? The next one I'll probably work on is going to be for a refrigerator. A refrigerator, and then we'll do one for water heaters and awnings and steps and all kinds of things. And we're calling the whole concept RV dashboard. And so the idea then would be that just like on your vehicle, you have this OBD2 port where the technician can plug in and read the codes. I'm trying to design that for RVs. And so this week was a huge moving forward with the P1AM PLC and all the IO modules, which I just got today at noon. And as soon as we're done here and eating dinner, I know what I'm going to be doing all weekend.
Oh, really?
Matt Carter said, how about a Raspberry Pi?
Okay, the Raspberry Pi also, I don't know that I need that much power, because on the furnace, it's really simple. I'm reading analogs, maybe 4 analogs, and just digital IO. Really simple. The Raspberry Pi would be like blatant overkill. But even still, even if it was a Raspberry Pi, it's still in its form factor, because I've got some Raspberry Pis. And in that form factor, it's still not.
I just feel like Darren needs to be.
Oh, here, hold on, guys. Hold on. We're all tangled up on the cords.
I think it's fine if you just set it there. I just wanted it to be you. It's okay. I'll get it.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking. So the thing with the Raspberry Pi is the same problem I had with the Arduino and the NetDuino and all these other things is it's not industrial hardened. I mean, it still needs to be, I still need a 12-volt power supply, and that needs to be conditioned and filtered. So I'm rolling into all these things. And so for years, I've been wanting to play around with something with the Arduino, with the 12-volt, but I always needed a power supply. I always needed IO. And so whether it's a Raspberry Pi, the NetDuino, the Arduino, dude, when I went to Automation Direct, so go to automationdirect.com and go to the programmable controllers, and over there, you're going to see a list of them, and it's going to be the one that's going to say Arduino compatible. Take a look at that thing. What? I am so excited because I can just build these things. That the little modules are about the size of a deck of cards. They just snap on. The things are small. And so now I can use my thermocouples right out of the box. I can use an RTD right out of the box. I don't have to do anything beyond it except plug it in and go. And then for supporting that, let Automation Direct support all that. If I did something like a Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or something, then I've got to come up with all the back office, the building the boxes, fabrication, and all that. Well, let Automation Direct do all that. And they love doing their part. I love doing my part. And so anyway, Trisha asked how my week was. And so very exciting to work on the RV dashboard. We're starting that out as like a little suitcase thing where it's going to be like a rental type concept where you would rent the box. We'd figure out, Trisha would figure out how to get it shipped out to you guys and get it returned. And then we'll figure out how much to charge for the rental and all this kind of stuff. We still got those things to work out. But then you would have this thing. If there's something wrong with your furnace, your water heater, refrigerator, all these different things, you would just connect it, let it run for a day or two. And then the screen that I have will tell you all the problems, everything about that you could ever dream of. And then when you're done, you just put it back and ship it back to us. We clean it up, dust it off, send it out to the next place. And so if I had a whole fleet of these boxes We could ship those things all over. And once we get that proof of concept down and we dialed in the software, so if you're like a controls engineer and this excites you, reach out to me, because this would be something I'd love to have some help with. I don't have to do it all. It would be great if we can kind of pitch in and kind of develop different parts of this. But so that would be kind of fun. And then once we get it as the suitcase rental form factor, then my vision is to actually make these so that they live in an RV full-time, 24/7, 365. And we would have a cloud space. And so now the whole vision then would be, if you're wanting to start a business, maybe as an RV technician, but maybe you're nerdy, maybe you're geeky. And so imagine if this whole next business that we create would be you getting your hands on all these devices that I make. And then your full-time job is to go around the RVs, installing the dashboard components and getting the cloud set up. And then those become your customers. And then, so T3 Interface basically then is the company that, hey, kitty cat. T3 Interface is a company that makes all the parts, shipping off to you at wholesale. And then you make the money going installing them and then managing that customer's RV. And then if there's a problem, you just log in and you look in your cloud space, like digi.com. Digi.com has a DigiDevice cloud, which I'm really interested in. And so you would have a DigiDevice cloud, and you could be able to look at all your modules all over these RVs and be able to call like my wife Ann here, like, Ann, your refrigerator just called me and your heating element is out of spec. That could be you. And so we're trying to build that platform. And it's something I'm very excited about. So that's what I've been doing all week, playing around with this. So, okay.
So Tom says the same thing that I said. What is Raspberry Pi?
Oh, Raspberry Pi it's a programmable controller. No, Pi is for Python. It's an IoT, Internet of Things type hardware module.
So he also, Ann had kind of addressed this, but a continued question from last Zoom meeting: for molding mattresses, in addition to dehumidifier, there are pads with airspace to help with moisture. Any experience or opinion?
None. I sleep on a Tempur-Pedic. Do we have a Tempur-Pedic? But we just run to dehumidifiers. I don't know. We should probably flip our mattress over and see if it's moldy.
Yeah, we do it every once in a while.
Yeah. So I don't, guys. I don't know. Ask me a RV repair question.
I answered this question.
Okay.
Okay, so how often do you have to cut into the underside of an RV, the plastic/insulation layer?
Yeah, we call that the underbelly.
Also,
okay.
Hi Tom, hi Brian, hi Matt, and yep, we're so glad you're here.
It's like in the Lego movie where it's opening up before he sings Everything's Awesome song, and the cats are walking by. It's like and he names all the cats. Anyway, if you've seen the Lego movie, you know what I'm talking about. How often do I undercut into the underbelly? As least as possible. But if I had to choose between taking all the screws out and folding the thing down and slicing it, I'm going to slice it every time. So I'm assuming you're probably going to want to know that because maybe you need to work on a waste valve, possibly, maybe, probably, or maybe a gearbox for a slide room. That's the only two reasons I could think of to go into there. And if that's the case, there's a product called scrim tape, SCHRIM, scrim tape, or underbelly tape. It's like a black weaved kind of tape. I carry the 4 and the 6 inch widths. And so if I do need to cut into the underbelly to gain access to a waste valve or a gearbox for one of these slide rooms, then I'll just kind of slice it. And as I'm cutting that underbelly, in my mind, I'm thinking how I'm going to put it back together, you know? And so I'm always careful how to do that because I want to be able to fold it down and then fold it back up. The trick there is you can get some shims, little one by shims, and just keep some of those in, and you can slide those up inside, and then get wood screws like with the big nut on the big head on the end of it, and then when you screw the things back up, you can screw it into that shim, and it usually hits the frame rails to hold it a little bit more stout. And then tape it up with the underbelly tape. When I use the underbelly tape, I usually go under there with a can of window cleaner because it's got that ammonia element in it or whatever. Maybe it doesn't have ammonia, but I run a roll of paper towels and I clean it really, really, really well, make sure it's dry. And then the underbelly tape sticks a lot better. So hope I answered that one.
Okay. And then Matt says, do you scan any cans, like CAN, messages
okay.
to diagnose?
No, we don't do anything with CAN bus, not right now. And because the RVs overwhelmingly, all these appliances, they're dumb. Now you got Jayco, Dometic, Lippert, they're all coming out with their own, CAN type systems. But for the system I'm coming up with, my platform's not going to be CAN bus, it's going to be Zigbee. So overwhelmingly, we're going to try to stabilize on Zigbee. And I could go into a lot more reasons why I would do Zigbee, because I've got even more ambitious plans to automate RV parks using Zigbee. And imagine if an RV that had Zigbee modules on it that was monitoring all of the RV components pulled into an RV park, that all of the pedestals were controlled from Zigbee. Imagine if that Zigbee RV met that Zigbee pedestal and they met. What? Very exciting. So, so my platform's not going to be CAN bus, it'll be Zigbee. The way I'm going to be talking to the P1AM is through Modbus. So we'll do a lot with Modbus. So anyway, my whole background is Profibus and Aussie Bus and all these different things. But so no, we're not going to do CAN bus. Even though I believe Lippert's using CAN bus, but that's not the platform I'm going to be going on. See, the thing is, my whole system, I want it to be aftermarket, and I want people to be able to install it themselves without running wire all over the place. And so if I make all I need is 12 volts, and then the rest of it's connected wirelessly, I win. And so Zigbee is a platform I'll use because I want to be able to have it work even in other areas. So.
Hey, Wanda, she joined us. She found us.
Sorry we're being all technical and geeky and nerdy, but that's where my brain is right now.
I'm sure some people like that.
Yeah. So if you're into this, reach out to me or reach out to Trisha and let me know, because we can have some fun.
Oh, gosh.
She just twiddles her thumb on so much to do, so little time.
Yeah.
No, wait. So little to do, so much time.
Yeah. Okay, so Tom says in the Zoom meeting, I also asked about associations you belong to, RV-related associations. I really don't think any at this point.
No, when we started our business, we did have different associations that we sought out. And, but, in the final analysis, that's just one more meeting I need to go to, one more thing I need to monitor. And I didn't really feel that I was getting value out of these associations. I'm an entrepreneur. I put my head down, I do my work. And we were doing roadside assistance, and we were associated with a lot of these roadside assistance things. And the challenge with those organizations is that when they call, you got to drop everything and go. Their slide room stuck, their jacks won't come up. And the way we run our business is we're a little bit more, we're booked out 2 to 3 weeks sometimes, and I can't just drop everything. So no, we're not really associated with any associations. We're just a small company here in Washington doing our own thing. Not to say, and Trisha could vouch for us on this, but a week does not go by where we don't get some kind of solicitation coming in. Would you agree with that?
Mainly because of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel. We get solicited for so many. Demo our product and join our this and join that. So I find it very distracting personally. What's the cost? I mean, even if the association is free, my time to manage that and associate myself with that takes away from something else I might be working on. But hey, that's Darren's story. You might have something and get a lot of value out of these associations. And if that's the case, absolutely go for it. I love you. Knock yourself out. But I'm not going to get myself too involved, because my interest is I want to focus on my RV dashboard product. And every time I'm doing something for an association or an event or something, I'm not getting my T3 interface business built. So it goes back to your end in mind. What does success look like to you? And paint that in 3D Technicolor detail and get busy making that work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we would, to some
She's
degree.
Off camera, so.
Oh yeah, we can try to be all.
You want to put it back over there?
Okay.
Now it's crooked. Oh, you tuck, and I'll move this right here. It's all tangled up on the wires. There we go.
Yeah, I think to some. Yeah, my hair's all crazy too, but anyways.
And now this is crooked.
Like
anyway, go with it, guys. Here,
I think to some degree we would like to develop some level of. I don't know if we would want to develop partnerships, because we've kind of tried to do that, and I don't know that we've had great success. I think a better way to do it is just for, if we know people, to just say that we know them and refer them that way, and if they know us, for them to refer, because I think it gets a little complicated whenever we try to
keep it simple. That's like what Trisha's saying. Just keep it simple. I want people to it's getting caught on that. anyway, I like to keep things simple. I don't want to feel like I owe anything to anybody. Now this thing's crooked.
It's okay.
Go with it, guys. Yeah, anyway, keep it simple is my whole thing. Focus on your business. Well, no, don't focus on your business. One of the things we talk about, and if you've joined us on the thing, is you focus on your customers and let your customers focus on your business. So if you're doing your business right, your customers will love you. And when I put my head on my pillow at night, the whole thing I was rattling about for the first few minutes is all about providing a service to my customers that are remote. They can't get to me. And I don't know how many comments I've read where they say, boy, I wish you were closer. Well, and so what is Darren doing for that? And what I want you to do if you're going to be into mobile service, think, what are the different ways that I could serve my customers' needs? And so it's like God tapped me on the shoulder. Now my nose is starting to itch again. And it's like, okay, we're going to do 30 years of this automation stuff. And now we're going to become an RV technician just so I can be around my kids more. And so now let's go back to what I was doing before and let's put that into an RV and serve my customers' needs. So if I focus on serving my customers' needs, then they let the customers build the business. What am I doing? This is just me talking for me. What do I expect to gain out of being involved in any kind of an organization? Am I trying to serve my needs? How does that help my customer? So these are the filters that I run all these decisions through. And so my whole purpose in life is to focus on the customers and let my customers build the business. Is me. So.
Ron asks, do you use a Webasto
Yeah,
test box when diagnosing an aqua hut?
I make my own.
And if you want one, we can get you one. We've got a store.
This, let me straighten this. So the Webasto test box, there. So, oops, now my seat's falling. Sorry, guys.
We're a mess tonight.
It's crazy here. There's kids, it's just cats, and just people coming here and going. This is really fun. So the Webasto test box, I make a test switch, okay? And so I am planning on taking that to even a deeper level because we were talking about in the previous YouTube, where our live stream on YouTube about the JP1, the JP2, the JP3, JP4, and then the B and C plug on the bottom. Can I see those cards? Where's the cards? So if we go to this, you'll see, I'll just hold one up. See, I got the B and C plug right there. And so basically this test procedure that I go through basically does everything that box does. But I'm holding my meter on things. So it's another tool that I want to make. And that's why I could maybe use some nerdy, geeky help because I'm trying to do field work and also make these tools for you guys and make these cards. And anyway, it's a lot of moving parts here. But I think on the test box, we were talking a few minutes ago about the P1AM module and the Arduino platforms and those types of things. So the direction that I want to take for my Webasto test box is to run that through a PLC, run that through a microprocessor and go even deeper and farther than what we can do with just flipping switches. Let's actually run some logic on these things. Let's actually get some analog values on these things. And let's trend that and maybe put data logging into that. So that's the direction that I want to go with the Webasto burner box. The Aqua box we have now is the first tool we came out with because I use it a lot. And the first one I did was in a Radio Shack project box. And the new ones I'm putting on are more Hammond enclosures with gland covers and rubberized switch glands and all this kind of stuff. So, but anyway, so no, everything that the Webasto burner box does, I do with my cards here and my meter and the test jig that the switch box that I make to turn on and on off. Because every time you do a test, you have to cycle power. And so anyway, when I get around to making my burner box, you're going to be pleased because it's going to have PLC programming running it, not just a bunch of switches. So, and it'll have data logging.
Okay, so Tom asks, do you use a thermistor tester, Litha, or how often do they go bad?
A thermistor tester. So you'd be talking about a refrigerator?
Well, I don't know.
So thermistor, we would see that in a refrigerator. If you're talking about doing a thermistor tester, the way I do that, so yes and no, I get a glass of ice water, the thermistor, and my meter. And that's kind of how I test a thermistor. And then I get my sheet, which I'll be making cards for, which have all the thermistor values for Norcold and Dometic. And having said that, I do have a data logger that will do thermistors. And I keep talking about my P1AM control board again from Automation Direct. One of the analog inputs I have is a thermistor input. So my mind's going crazy on all the things we can do with that. But if the thermistor goes bad, there's no screw that you can tighten to make it right. And so I always just put it in a cup of water for about 5 minutes. I fill it up with ice and just let it sit for about 5-10 minutes and then read my value. And then I take a thermostat or my little, oops, we're playing hide and seek. No one's here. So what were we talking about? Thermistor, yeah. So put it in a glass of water and read the value, and then the like a food thermostat thing. I've got one. It's on my Amazon affiliate links. It's like a switchblade looking deal, and I'll stick that in a cup of water too, and that'll give me a like right on the display what the temperature is, and then I read the value of 8,000 ohms or whatever, and does 8,000 ohms equal 34 degrees? Yeah, okay, so there's my thermistor tester.
All right, and so I'll just address a couple of things. So Brian, he says he's purchased the level 1 and level 2 manuals from RVTI, and his goal is to study those and then use our academy to do his certification. So just want to make sure that you know that whenever we do come out with the academy, which we're expecting to release January 2024, we'll start with the LP course and some other things. But whenever we do develop our academy, it's not gonna it won't be an accredited program where you get certification. So you can certainly use it to maybe like pass your test if there's some information there that would help you. But you wouldn't like take our course to get certified. So it's a little bit different than like an RVTI or RVIA.
NRVTA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if certification and accreditation and student loans and all that is important, then go that route. If you just want to be an RV technician and fix people's stuff, you can just watch our videos and learn everything you need to know from our videos and save yourself all that money. Not that I'm trying to take away from what those schools are doing. Those schools are amazing and they're awesome. But let's begin with the end in mind. Do you want to start your business and do you want to become an RV technician? If the answer is yes to that, then the only reason you need to be certified is to do warranty work, or if you want to become an authorized service center for some of these businesses or some of these manufacturers. But I don't see a direct connection between certification and entrepreneurship. I don't see that. I know a lot of really amazing people that seriously, I want to be careful here because I do have tremendous friends and tremendous respect for the different schools that are out there. But I also want to make sure that I'm, we're turning me again. Here, just turn right here. There we go. Yeah, I want to be careful because I don't want to take away what the schools do. Okay. But if we begin with the end in mind, and if the end in mind is for you to be an entrepreneur and own your own small business and put food on your table by having a mobile RV service business, you may not need to go get certified, is what I'm saying. You may not need to go to school. Okay. At the end of the day, you could watch our videos, go do some seminars, get some customers. In all the times, the thousands of service jobs that I've done, I don't know that anybody has ever really cared or asked to see my certified RV credentials. No one's ever asked that. The only people that have ever asked if I'm certified is when we were doing a warranty job, when we got vetted with these extended service companies, or when we get vetted with the manufacturer to do a warranty job, they would want to make sure that you were certified. And some of the authorized service center criteria is that you had to be certified. So anyway, again, I want to be very careful here. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying don't go to school, but I don't want the schooling to be, the analogy that we gave in our video was like, okay, so I'm a Christian, but I don't need to go to seminary to talk to you about Jesus, right? So if I'm an RV technician, I don't have to be a certified RV technician to go out and fix your furnace. As my customer, can I fix your furnace? Yes, great. Here, let's have this arrangement. I'll come fix your furnace. You give me some money. We have a wonderful relationship. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that.
I think what you're saying too is that if certification, and I don't want to get into all of it, but it used to be that you could get certified without going to school, and we've kind of looked into it, and I'm not sure that they offer that option anymore. So I think what you're saying is if the only way for you to get certified is to spend $1,000, $5,000, if getting certified is your barrier to becoming an RV tech, don't let that be your barrier. If you can afford it and you think it's helpful, then that's great. But don't let that be the thing that prevents you from becoming an RV tech.
If I had to choose between going to get certified or paying for a company to be incorporated and making sure to have insurance, I would say that incorporating my business to protect my family and then making sure I had insurance is more important than the fact that I've got a card that says, yep, I'm a certified RV tech, is what I want to say. There seems to be a lot of discussion about certifications, level 1s, level 2s, and all this kind of stuff. And now what do I do? And I think that's putting the cart before the horse. I think personally, I would rather you guys go get your business started. Just do low-hanging fruit type stuff, furnaces, water heaters, refrigerators. Just watch all my videos and you'll get every piece of information you would ever need. And it won't cost you anything because YouTube's free. So I'm offering you a service that doesn't cost you anything. You could get your business started and just do simple things. And then as the need grows, then decide, okay, I think I need to be certified because my business demands it of me now. But the bank isn't going to care if you're certified for you to get a loan. Your insurance agent isn't going to care that you're certified. The state's not going to care if you're certified to do this kind of work. It's not like we're electricians or plumbers where you have to have a union card. So I guess I really wanted to stress that, and I've spent a lot of time on it here because there just seems to be a lot of discussion on going to get certified first. And I think let's go get our business started first and let's go get certified if it's necessary. But you don't have to be certified to be an RV technician. You don't have to be certified to go fix my furnace. You just need to know what the heck you're doing and become good at those things. Go to our website, download the manuals, read the manuals, and go do some seminars and work on your own. And
hands-on experience.
Yeah, get some hands-on. And now, have I learned a lot from going to the schools? Absolutely, I've learned a lot from going to the schools. But I guess the only point I'm trying to make, the only point I'm trying to make is, and I want to be sensitive and careful to the whole thing here, but if your end in mind is to be a mobile RV service, kind of like we're doing, I don't know that you need to be certified to start that process. I would get the business started first and then go get certified only if you need to. Okay. Done.
All right. So, Ron didn't get to start at the beginning. Have you started selling your cards yet? So I think with the poll tonight, with what we found out with on YouTube, well, we're kind of still on YouTube, but it's a little different format. So anyways, I think with the poll that we did tonight, I think I'm going to go forward with putting these out and we'll word it so everybody knows what they're getting. They know that, we might come out. Yeah. Because it sounds like there are, maybe not everybody wants this version, but it sounds like the people that do really do. And so we will offer those first to our patrons.
You guys.
So in the coming weeks, we'll post that. There'll be like a checkout link that you can use to purchase them on Patreon. And then from there, we'll release them to the general public after that. So. And
here's the problems I'm having. So I'm using.
Sorry to interrupt. Sid said it might be because if it's an inkjet printer that you're using.
I'm using a laser.
Okay, then I don't know.
So the problem I'm having is I create these things in Microsoft Publisher. Okay, and that works great. And Microsoft Publisher has templates, and you could use the Avery business card pre-perforated things. And so I was running into some problems because if I go into Microsoft Publisher and I put the Avery business card template thing, then I got to copy paste to each card. So then Publisher has a generic business card template where I can just make one card, and then when I print it, it prints to all of them. And so that's my option. So I just want to do this. Well, here, I'll pick a more complicated one. There. I just want to make one of these in Publisher and then print it out to like all of them. And so I've got a nice fancy HP laser printer, brand new cartridges, everything's good to go on that thing. And so I'm printing both sides, and I'm using a 150-gram glossy cardstock. I didn't know what that was until like a couple weeks ago, to give it the nice rigidity. Anyway, so when it prints out and it goes back and prints itself again, it's off. I've spent half a day trying to get it to print perfectly on both front and back. So when you look at it up in the light, they lined up perfectly. But to save my life, I cannot get it to do that. I've changed it in the software. I've changed it in the printer. And so the problem we have on these things, let me find one. Okay, so here. There you go. Okay, so you see this one, look at the outline. It's blue, 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 all the way around, right? If I flip that over, see how it's off right there? And this got cut off on this side. And that bothers me. I want it to be perfect. So we're looking at some other options. So then once I get these, then I have to cut them all out with my cutting board and slice them all up to make them little pieces of paper because it went through the printer as a full 8.5 by 11. Is it 8 by 11.5 or 8.5 by 11, whatever. And then I slice them all out. Then I get all these little laminated things and slide them all in, and then I run them through the laminator. So it's a lot of labor intensiveness on that, but it's a skunk works. It's a brand new thing. And I've got like 85 designs for these things that I'm gonna be playing around with. And so we found these printers that will print like an index, like a credit card, PVC type card. And you just put the card blank in there and it prints front and back. They're $2,000. So is this idea a $2,000 idea to justify buying one of those things? I'll do it. It would sure make it easy.
I think it is. We just have to sell a whole
lot
before we
so
get that money back.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And then I put thing and it keeps them all together. So great idea. Anybody could do this. And I'm branding them with our company name on it and all this kind of stuff. So I don't think I'm the originator of this idea. Anybody could do this, but I don't want you to. I want you to buy them from me. But I'm not so bold to say I'm the only one in the world that could come out with this idea. There may be a person that already has a $2,000 printer that wants to do these things. And anyway, but that's what's going on with these things. So having said all that, I am happy going to get my 150 gram glossy presentation paper, my laminated cards, my toner for my inkjet printer. And because the thing is once I get this thing, it's just a matter of printing them, and I can have my kids to do that part, cutting them out and putting them in the thing. And so anyway, that's what's going on with these cards. But I really believe in this. I think this is a great, great, great thing. I've brought this into the field when I'm working on Aqua, and it was just so nice. And I've got another one that I made for the Dometic SZ1 thermostat. That's that little small square one that the buttons never work on. And on one side, it's got all the error codes, and on the back side, it's got how to get into the manual, the diagnostics mode, and all those things. So one card, and you're in the Dometic SZ1 thermostat. And so that would be clipped on here as well. And then we were just talking about the thermistors, and one card would have all the thermistor values. And the other thing is I've got some QR codes on these things. And so we've got an Amazon affiliate site. So if there's a part that's Amazon, you would be able to just pull this thing, take your phone, take a picture of it, and then now you're on our Amazon affiliate site getting the part. So these are, I just mentioned, I think of things that I can serve my customers with. You guys are my customers. I'm trying to get some tools out to you guys. So if I focus on making these really great and put all the pieces in place, then I don't have to worry about my business or my affiliates, or, well, not my affiliates, all my associations. I just need to worry about my customers. My customers are really about as far as I really go. And as long, I know my business is doing well if I'm focusing on my customers. Every once in a while I look over my shoulder like, hey, we're doing really well. But I didn't focus on that. I focused on the customer. And that's what my counsel is to anybody who wants to do this is, in the Marine Corps, we had a saying, you take care of your men take care of the mission. And so here in business, you take care of your customers take care of your business. And so if you're spending all your time in something that doesn't involve your customers, you might want to check yourself. You need to work on your customers. So.
All right. So Matt says, are you finding broken wires in older RVs? They take so long to diagnose.
No, not really. Not really. I'm finding more problems with brand new RVs than I am with the old RVs, honestly. Yeah.
So
we need the RV dashboard.
You can talk to them about that tool that you have though.
Which
I mean,
tool?
like if it's a mouse.
Oh, the TS90. Fluke has a tool called a TS90. It's on our Amazon affiliate links. And what that tool does, if you go to our YouTube channel, it's under our furnace playlist. It is a suburban furnace with intermittent fault. This thing was put out about 2 years ago, but that meter, the Fluke TS90, was absolute key in finding the wire short. And basically it's a Fluke meter. Fluke's not the only one that makes these things, but you connect it to 2 wires and you push a button and it tells you how far that wire goes until it's open. And if that wire is grounded or shorted out, it beeps at you. And I've used that on all kinds of troubleshooting jobs, especially on RVs. Now it's wire length because of, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll work on that. I'll be working on a wiring problem and make sure the circuit's dead. But I'll work on a wiring problem. I'm like, okay, this wire should be about 20 feet long. And I'll put my thing on there and it says 4. I'm like, we have a problem 4 feet away from here. And all of a sudden you take the thing apart. Yep, sure enough, a rat chewed to the wire right there. But if it comes back, we did a solar job not too long ago. And about 2-3 months ago, when I used it on the solar job, it turns out that we were not getting anything from the solar array down to the controller. And so I'm still at the ground before I went up on the roof, and I checked it, and I was getting 20, which is what I would have expected to have received. And so that meter, the Fluke TS90 is really great for that. On the solar job, it turns out that the people that put the solar panel in, they had, like you're supposed to have a plus and a minus. They had 2 panels. And what they had done was they took this plus to this plus. Anyway, they had reverse polarity, which gives me a net 0 down at the controller. So I was getting a net 0 at the controller, and they were thinking there's something wrong with their wiring. We just had to change the plus to the minus and put it all together, and everything was fine. So.
Okay, another question.
Okay.
Would an RV tech work on microwave and residential refrigerators, or have them contact an appliance repair person?
Darren does
That's
not.
from Bob Hayes.
All right, Bob. Darren would not work on residential appliances. That's not to say that there's not an RV tech out there that would, but usually the type of work that I focus on is the kind of work that you would find in a Spader flat rate guide, okay, if that makes sense. So you have RV technicians, you have mechanics, you have appliance technicians, you have plumbers, you have electricians. And so the types of things that an RV technician is going to work on typically is going to be anything having to do electrically with your RV, the house side, maybe not the chassis electrical. I don't do too much with chassis electrical, even though I'm really good with electrical work. But my strength is on the house electrical. We would work on your absorption refrigerator, which is what we see predominantly in RVs. We would work on your furnace or your stove. But once you start getting in a residential style appliance like a microwave or a residential refrigerator, overwhelmingly most of your RV technicians would not work on those systems. It doesn't fall under the purview of an RV technician's job title. That's not to say that you wouldn't find an RV tech that maybe does do that. But overwhelmingly, no, you wouldn't find that. And also, don't be surprised if you find an RV technician that they don't do chassis work, driveline type work. That would fall under a mechanic. It's a different set of tools, different types of certifications, different types of trainings. It's just a different. It's like a plumber and electrician. Well, you still work on houses, yeah, but it's not really the same.
Okay, so I do want to get to this question. Also, it looks like some people have posted kind of like the cost of the classes that they've gotten, and I'm glad that it looks like they have some simpler options for just a few $100s. So I'm glad because, I was hearing like $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, and that's a lot of money. So KH was over on our general live stream and joined us here. So very glad to see you. My IntelliTAC HVAC control center started blinking and turned failing furnace on. Maybe you just reread it.
Okay,
they're all off. Flipped breaker, but it also turned fridge and 12-volt lights off.
Okay, so my IntelliTAC HVAC control started blinking and turning failing furnace on to off, flips breakers, but it also turns the fridge to 12 volts lights. Way to bypass furnace to get everything else back on. Okay.
So way to bypass furnace to get everything.
Way to bypass furnace to get everything back on. So the IntelliTAC, one thing you can try on the IntelliTAC is to go dead in the water with the thing, and I'll do your furnace thing. We did a video, another video. It's the little Intelli thing, like a Christmas tree was lighting up, but I don't think that that's your problem. But in order to fix a Christmas tree blinking light thing, now that was not an IntelliTAC, that was a Xantrex, so IntelliTAC. So if you want to get your furnace to work, again, we got a lot of furnace playlists, but the furnace is going to work. So if you just, you need your furnace to work, right? You just want your furnace to work. So for $20, you can get a real simple wall mounted thermostat. It's just the old school thermostat, and your furnace is going to have 4 wires feeding it: the power, the minus, and these 2 blue wires. You figure out, beg, borrow, or steal, get those 2 blue wires connected with thermostat wire, lamp cord, anything. Get them through a window, through a slide room, up to that thermostat in your RV. Polarity does not matter. The back of that little $20 thermostat is going to have 2 little screws. The 2 blue wires that left your furnace, bring them up here to these 2 screws, connect them in, screw the thing to a wall or mount it there, and your furnace will work. And you bypass the whole Teletech problem until we can get that figured out. Okay. But that's your simple, easy $20 fix, and a roll of lamp cord or roll extension cord, anything. You just need to connect those 2 blue wires to the, make sure the furnace has 12 volts on your black, on your red and your black, or red and yellow, depending on who your manufacturer is. And the 2 blue wires that leave that furnace, you need to run them through that little simple thermostat, and that'll get you through until we can get the Intelitech system figured out.
Oh, he says, no, the furnace motor is failing and screaming. I want to get my fridge and lights on.
Oh, you want to take the furnace out? Okay, well then you need to replace your motor. We've done quite a few videos on that. So you want to get your refrigerator on. So is it the Intelitech? So the furnace is consuming, but let me back up a little bit here, because the Intelitech doesn't really monitor 12 volts. It's only going to monitor your 120 volts. So what does that have to do with your furnace? I'm wondering. So the Intelitech.
Oh, here's his question from the other live stream.
Okay, let me make sure I understand.
It's similar, but my Intelitech HVAC control center started blinking something all in off. Then it turned on the furnace by itself, flipped breaker, but it made my fridge and 12 volt lights go off too. Is there a way to bypass furnace? Furnace motor is failing and screams, so have to leave.
Okay, so I'm going to go. These are the problems that I love if I was physically there. But the Intelitech, it's going to do load shedding. But what it's going to shed the load of is AC loads, but your furnace is a DC load. So I'm trying to understand the connection between the Intelitech load shedding and your furnace. The only thing that might work there is it's shedding the air conditioner load. So if your thermostat is talking to your air conditioner and your air conditioner is talking to your furnace, there may be a connection there. So my mind's all over the place. But so what is this specific question? And let me just try to answer this specific one and not try to figure this other thing out. So in real simple terms, what is it that you're trying to do? You want your refrigerator to work?
Okay, so we'll wait for that answer.
You want your refrigerator to work and your air conditioner to work and your furnace not to work?
Okay.
Because I just need to know, and then I can answer just that one.
Okay, and then we're gonna finish it up. So we'll wait to see if we're able to get clarification on that. I don't know if it matters. When you were talking about the thermistor tester, he just said that he got the name wrong. It's the one that gets hot and makes the connection to keep the burner running. So I don't know if that.
High temperature switch?
So the original was, do you use a thermistor tester, litha, or how often do they go bad? And
so on a furnace.
Litha,
on a furnace, that would be the high temperature switch that's mounted on the burner itself. I just use a meter in continuity mode.
Okay. And then
my furnace event logger will detect for that though.
And I think we are just about
KH just responded.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yes. Fridge. Don't care about the rest. So he just wants to get his fridge.
Okay. So you want your refrigerator to work on AC, then find, okay. I'm not going to try to figure out what's wrong with your Intelitech system. We're just going to focus on your refrigerator. Extension cord. Find a receptacle that's always hot, run it through a window, plug it into the refrigerator, and be done.
He said the fridge is off because I flipped a breaker.
What happens when the breaker turns back on? I love these things. I live for this kind of stuff. I'm a nerd. I love it. But if you just need your refrigerator to go, the refrigerator is only going to consume about 2 to 3 amps most. Okay. And so you could just use a small little extension cord, run it through a window, whatever you need to get to the back side of your refrigerator, and just plug your refrigerator into that. You can need a ground. You must have a ground on that. Interesting, on a side note, you have a lot of these big RVs that have the kitchen and the slide room. And the only ground, we ran into this, this was a long story, but anyway, surprisingly, the only physical electrical ground between that entire slide room and the rest of the coach is through the ground plug of a refrigerator's receptacle.
So I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's saying that like when he flips the breaker on, the furnace screams. So somehow like he wants to be able to just, how can I
Leave
cut
the
off
breaker
furnace,
off. Yeah.
cut off the furnace, but keep the power for the refrigerator.
Well, if you want to disable your furnace, the furnace is 12 volts DC. So find the fuse that feeds the furnace and just pull the fuse for your furnace. So you can just do it that way too.
Okay.
I'm real stuck on the connection between the Intelitech and the furnace because
You might have two different problems.
AC to DC. So yeah, for your furnace, that's a 12 volt system. So pull the 12 volt fuse for your furnace. Typically, those are going to be their own dedicated fuse. Rarely have I seen the furnace shared with other circuits. But if that's the case, access your furnace and just, you're going to find the red wire that feeds your furnace, just cut the thing and put a wire nut on it because it's going to be 12 volts hot. That'll disable your furnace.
All right, we're gonna get going. We're gonna go out to dinner. We are hungry, and plus we have little girls that have been playing.
Yeah.
Actually, Dakota has done such a good job.
Yeah, we gotta
So,
reward him.
So, but I do want to answer your question, Ronald. I have no idea what happened there because he says the Zoom meeting was posted 3 days ago. I don't really know what happened. I saw that there were a couple of people that logged into our Zoom meeting. So the Zoom meeting we had scheduled for the second Saturday of February at 11 a.m. We did that Zoom meeting. And then I'm not sure what notification people got that they thought that it was happening a few days ago. So I'll try to look into that. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but I did post the video. We recorded the video from the Zoom meeting. I did post that. And in that description, I put when our next Zoom meeting is. So we'll have a Zoom meeting in March. Instead of the second Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to do it Wednesday evening at 5:30. Darren's going to be out with his
Trail Life.
Trip. And so
hiking.
The second Saturday. So we're going to move it to a Wednesday evening, and hopefully people that maybe can't join on a Saturday morning are able to. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Thanks for joining us though tonight.
Yeah, this is fun.
And
Hope I didn't nerd out too much on you guys, but that's where my brain has been this week and next week and the week after that. I'm so excited. I wish I could just I'm going to be sick for the next 2 weeks. Can I be sick for the next 2 weeks?
No.
Oh.
Okay. It would be nice if Patreon allowed longer text. KH, do you mean like in the chat stream? I think there is some limitation on the live streams. They do limit the characters, and I don't know that there's really any way to avoid that. I mean, it's possible that you can post, I think in the comments, like on our Patreon, you can make it as long as you want. But I can't necessarily guarantee that we're going to take all of those comments and include them in the live stream because we do try to let people that join live ask live. So I'm sorry for that limitation. I don't have a great solution for it other than
you can always
create your post, in like Word or something like that, and then just chop it up. Yeah. And we can paste all those things together. So that's all I have.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah,
thank you for supporting us. We're hoping that you're getting value, and I know that for Trisha, when you guys are the ones that are paying in and supporting us and pledging us, and so we really want to sow into you guys, and so just let Trisha know because she's kind of like the ringleader of all this, and let her know if there's things that you may have found on other patron sites, whatever, that we can do better or something. We're really trying to build this content for you guys, and so it's built for you, so we would like some feedback on how we're doing and what we can do to make it better. Maybe it's perfect the way it is.
Well, I think that we're doing what we can. We definitely want whatever we commit to be something that we can follow through on. But one thing I think has been really helpful for those of you that are at the $15 and $25 tiers that have been watching the How to Start series, a couple people have posted questions from that that have been really great. Like, that would be great to develop into an episode. And so when you give us like your questions of things that you're thinking about as you're starting your business, that helps us to develop content that, might be valuable to you. So
and I don't certainly, none of us have all the answers. The only thing that I bring to the table is I've been doing this for a couple of years now. And yeah, and I think we've built a pretty good business, and so we're just trying to turn around and help you guys also build a big business with no experience at all, or maybe you've had some experience. So,
All right, Bob's gonna go eat some coconut shrimp. That sounds.
oh
very
my
good.
gosh, you're killing me.
And we're gonna go eat.
Where's Bob? Where's Bob?
I don't know.
Coconut shrimp. That sounds really good.
Or you said eat
All right.
some coconut shrimp
Thanks,
for me.
Charles.
Yes,
We'll
that's
see you.
delicious. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.